Hello everybody! Today I'm gonna do a quick review of our special number 2 on the website. It's called Cassandra. Just a few quick words about it. It's built in Cooler Master Elite 130 Mini ITX case, so it's really small. As you can see, the footprint is really small. That's the front of it. With a meshed panel here, and there is a fan with golden LEDs underneath, front USB 3.0 and 2.0 ports here, audio, microphone, all the usual stuff. On top there is ventilation for the power supply, because the air comes in from the top for it. That's the side. There's a video card underneath and it sucks air in through that side panel. The rear, that's the power supply, video card vents here, and all the usual ports. USB 3.0 here, 2.0, so there are 6 ports total. Those video outs, they do not work. It's for integrated video, and since we've got a dedicated video card here, those are not going to be working. As you can see, it's Mini ITX, so there are only 2 slots and both occupied by the video card. And you cannot put any other extension cards in that slot. And that's the other side. Again, some ventilation here on the side, little fan. That's 80mm fan on the side. It blows over the motherboard and the CPU. Again, that's the front, meshed panel, air intake here. Single 120mm fan, and I'm gonna show you what's inside so you can see better for yourself. It's really easy to take that case apart. You just put your hand underneath, under that front panel, and pull it. That's it. There is a slot for DVD burner if you need it, but we actually used that spot to place an SSD drive here. So if you want to move that SSD drive somewhere else, you can do that and put a DVD in. Although we really recommend using an external one, because it makes everything so much easier to work in that case without the DVD. You slide the panel back and it comes off in one big piece like this. Here's the ventilation on all sides, filter on top for the power supply. I'm gonna put it on the side. Again, it's Cooler Master Elite 130 Mini ITX case. As you can see, there's a 120mm fan on front. It has got blue or yellow LEDs. We can change that. In this particular one, there is a golden LED set on that fan. It looks really nice from the front. The video card here, it's Asus Radeon RX 480 with 8 GB of memory. It fits here just fine. There's no problem with ventilation or anything, because as you can see, it's a regular blower style cooler, so it sucks air in from the side panel and it exhausts everything through the back. So there's not going to be much of a hot air inside of the case because of that video card in there. You've seen the back already. Those are exhaust grill for the video card, HDMI, 3 display ports here. No DVI, but it makes ventilation much better, and if you need DVI or VGA, you can use an adapter like HDMI to DVI. It's gonna work just fine. Okay, on the other side here, there is a little panel here that you can use to install SSD, HDD drive. We've got HDD here. It's 250 gig hard drive. We used it just for backup for the SSD. You can put any other hard drive in that place. You can install another SSD on this side if you want to, although it's going to be a tight spot. That's the intake fan, 80mm. It's not loud at all, and it helps cooling off the motherboard, memory, processor. The power supply here, it's EVGA 430 watt, and it's perfectly enough for that kind of system. The power supply 430 watt again is perfectly enough for that, because it's really low draw power system. The processor doesn't need much. There's just like hard drive SSD and the video card is gonna be drawing most of it, but then again 430 watt power supply is more than enough. You can upgrade the video card here and it's still gonna be enough. It's really power efficient system. As you can see, we've got some nice cabling here. We hid all the cables in that top spot. There is the SSD, there is a SanDisk 256 gig SSD. It's X110, really fast SSD. It like runs everything really fast. Windows loads fast, and there are no problems at all. No lag completely. And the hard drive here, it's again 250 gig hard drive. You can change it to anything you want. We can upgrade it for you as well, but it's mostly here for a backup for the SSD. You can put all your games, software on the SSD, and then just back up everything on the hard drive, or use it for some bigger files or video, whatever. Here is all the cabling. There are still some cables left. You can put extra SSD drive, like another one here on this side, another one underneath. So there are still expansion options here. On the bottom of the case you can also put either an SSD or the hard drive. In total you can install, let's say, like one hard drive here, one here, SSD underneath, another one here. So it's gonna be between 4 and 5 drives, depending on what you're gonna be using. If it's SSD or HDD, you can put up to 5 easily here if you're gonna be using like 3 SSDs and 2 hard drives. But realistically, it's gonna be a mess, because you're just gonna run out of space to hide all the cables, and cabling is gonna be really hard here. So this is it. Now I'm gonna assemble it, and I'll fire it up to show you how it looks when it's running. I'm gonna show you first how fast it is gonna boot. It's still one of the first starts, and so it might be not the best speed that you will see at the boot up, but it's gonna improve with time. And also I forgot to mention there is a Gigabyte H110 motherboard in there. You can't really see it because it's hidden behind all the cables and everything, but it's there. It has got M.2 port as well if you need that. So let's fire it up and see how it works. You can control that small fan, and the 120mm fan is running on full speed. As you can see, it's really fast. As soon as motherboard initializes, we're talking about less than 10 seconds. It's all it takes. As you can see, there is a golden LED fan inside. It looks really nice. Computer's running quiet. There are no problems with it at all. There is just 120mm quiet fan on the front, and that 80mm fan on the side. You can adjust speed. Other than that, CPU runs really cool. Even with stock cooler, it never reaches anything more than 60 degrees in Prime 95, and in gaming it stays between 40 and 50, so there is no need for any aftermarket cooling or especially liquid or anything like that. And then there is a video card. Under extreme load it's gonna spin up a bit, but still it keeps quiet. So there will be no problems with noise with this particular computer. Just make sure you don't put anything on top of it, on the back side, because there is a power supply air intake in there, so if you'll block it, the power supply will be overheating a bit. Other than that, this is it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and we'll be glad to assist you. Again, it's special number 2 Dragonfire. You can find it on our website. We've got just a few of them, but if we'll run out of them, we can still build you one. It's a really nice small system, and you'll really like it if you'll get one. And now for the numbers, I'm just gonna give you a few numbers here. We run ×5 on this system, and we've got total score 3649. So it's a nice score. The GPU score is unaffected by the memory or CPU or anything else, and it has got score at 3970. Again, it's RX 480 video card. Now if you'll compare it to an i5 score that we've got, we have 3949. So i5 3949 versus i3 6300 at 3649, and it's just 300 point difference, and it's about 7%. And that processor saves you approximately $100 compared to i5 6500. So it's a nice one, and as you can see, i3 is working nicely here, and it's there's really not a big difference between i5 and i3 in performance, and that i3 6300 can handle that RX 480 video card. So make no mistake about that, and don't listen to other people who say that i3 cannot be used for a gaming computer. It can, and we do it all the time, and people are happy, and we can prove it with benchmark results. So this is it. Again, it's Dragonfire Special number 2. Look it up on the website. Thank you. Have a good day.